France remains the world's seventh largest economy by nominal GDP, standing at approximately $3.1 trillion as of 2024, according to the IMF. It is home to global giants like Airbus, LVMH, TotalEnergies, and BNP Paribas. The country boasts a top-tier healthcare system, universal education, and a high human development index. Yet beneath the surface, cracks are widening. While national unemployment has declined to around 7.4%, youth unemployment continues to hover at an alarming 17%, with some areas, particularly the banlieues, seeing figures as high as 30%. In the Paris suburb of Seine-Saint-Denis, nearly 1 in 3 young people are out of work, according to INSEE. And this isn't a recent development. It reflects long-standing structural problems related to inequality, discrimination, and lack of opportunities. Growth is tepid. From 2010 to 2023, France averaged just 1.1% annual GDP growth, compared to 1.7% for the broader eurozone. Labor productivity has stagnated. France's productivity was 17% below Germany's and 24% behind the US in 2022. A report by France Stratégie warned that without substantial innovation and investment, the productivity gap may widen. Inflation, which reached 6.2% in 2022, has since moderated to around 0.8% in early 2025. Yet for working families, prices remain high and real wages have barely recovered. According to Eurostat, purchasing power for low-income households declined by nearly 7% between 2021 and 2024. The SMIC, minimum wage, now stands at €1,766 gross per month. But average rent in Paris is over €1,300 for a one-bedroom apartment, and food prices have surged by over 15% in 3 years. The French consumer is squeezed from all directions: fuel costs, VAT, electricity bills, and health insurance contributions. The OECD's 2024 report places France among the most expensive European countries for daily living. A rising Gini coefficient, now at 0.299, also reflects increasing income inequality. France has long prided itself on a strong social contract, but today, that contract feels brittle. Protests are no longer rare outbursts, they are recurring eruptions. The Yellow Vest movement, ignited in 2018, persisted in various forms until 2022. It revealed a deep sense of alienation, particularly among middle-aged rural citizens who feel left behind by urban-centric policies. In 2023, over 3 million people joined mass demonstrations against Macron's pension reforms. Unions mobilized more than 200 protest days nationwide, halting trains, closing schools, and filling the streets of Paris with garbage as sanitation workers struck for weeks. Macron's approval rating, as of June 2024, is down to 23% according to IPSOS. His use of Article 49.3 to pass pension reform without a parliamentary vote was seen by many as an authoritarian overreach. While the government argues the reform is vital to avert a €13.5 billion pension deficit by 2030, the public sees it as a breach of democratic norms. This is not just a fight over numbers, it's a battle over dignity, fairness, and the future of the French way of life. The political terrain in France has dramatically shifted in the past year. In the snap legislative elections held in early 2024, following widespread protests, Macron's centrist coalition ensemble suffered heavy losses, losing its majority in the National Assembly. The far-right National Rally, under Marine Le Pen, and the left-wing coalition NUPES, led by Jean-Luc Mélenchon, surged in parliamentary seats. This fractured parliament has made governance increasingly difficult. Macron has been forced to rely on ad hoc coalitions, compromising on many policy fronts. The pension reform, passed without a vote, only exacerbated tensions. Trust in traditional political parties is crumbling. As per a 2025 Le Monde survey, only 18% of French citizens feel represented by the current political establishment. The deeper concern is legitimacy. With protests erupting almost monthly, and mayors in smaller towns resigning due to threats or burnout, the French Fifth Republic is under intense stress. There are even debates, previously unthinkable, about constitutional reform and the potential for a sixth republic. France's welfare state is one of the most expansive in the world. At 58% of GDP, its public spending outpaces nearly all other developed nations. The French enjoy universal healthcare, extensive family benefits, unemployment assistance, and subsidized education. But the system groans under pressure. The public debt now stands at 111% of GDP. Interest payments exceed 55 billion euros a year, more than the education budget. With aging demographics, 1 in 4 citizens over 60, the demand for pensions and healthcare is ballooning. At the same time, the labor force participation rate among older citizens remains low. Reforming such a beloved system is politically toxic. Attempts to trim unemployment benefits or restrict healthcare reimbursements have faced immediate pushback from unions and opposition parties. But maintaining the status quo could mean risking France's fiscal credibility within the EU. France's Muslim population, estimated between 5 and 8 million, is central to the nation's demographic and cultural landscape. Yet integration remains a major challenge. The 2023 Nahel Merzouk riots laid bare these tensions. Triggered by the police shooting of a 17-year-old of Algerian descent, they spiraled into 5 nights of intense riots, causing an estimated 650 million euros in damages. These were not isolated incidents. They were expressions of decades-long frustrations among marginalized communities. Banlieues continue to suffer from underfunded schools, high unemployment, and frequent police intervention. A 2024 report by the French Defender of Rights Office found that ethnic minorities are 20 times more likely to be stopped by police without cause. Mainstream political discourse has shifted right. Immigration is now the top concern among voters, above inflation or jobs. Marine Le Pen's national rally polls at 31%, and with parliamentary elections looming in 2027, France could be on the brink of a political shift not seen since the Fifth Republic's inception. France remains home to aerospace juggernaut Airbus and luxury conglomerates like LVMH. But traditional manufacturing sectors have shrunk. France's share of global exports dropped from 5.1% in 2000 to 2.4% in 2023. The government has responded with industrial revival plans. The 2023 France 2030 strategy pledges 30 billion euros to reindustrialize, focusing on green energy, biotech, and electronics. The country plans to build at least 4 battery gigafactories and invest in rare earth mining. Nuclear energy remains a strength. France gets over 70% of electricity from nuclear sources. Yet, more than 25 of its 56 reactors were offline in 2022 due to safety checks. President Macron announced 50 billion euros in new investments to build 6 next-generation reactors by 2050. Still, energy costs remain volatile, and competition from Asia and the US in high-tech manufacturing threatens France's industrial revival. France continues to advocate for a sovereign Europe. Macron's diplomacy often clashes with Washington's priorities. His 2023 Beijing visit, where he emphasized strategic autonomy and reduced dependency on the US, sparked criticism. Yet France's influence faces new challenges. In West Africa, coups in Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger have pushed French troops out. Anti-French sentiment is rising, and China and Russia are filling the vacuum. Within Europe, France faces a different challenge: Germany's economic stagnation. With the EU's traditional economic engine slowing, France is expected to lead. Yet it must do so while grappling with domestic turmoil. With Macron's party weakened and the left fragmented, Marine Le Pen is the most likely challenger in 2027. If she wins, it would mark the first far-right presidency in modern French history. Le Pen promises strict immigration controls, EU treaty renegotiation, and a French-first economic agenda. While she has softened her rhetoric compared to earlier campaigns, her party remains controversial. A far-right presidency could strain France's EU commitments, spook markets, and challenge NATO cohesion. But it may also force a reckoning on issues that have long been ignored: urban-rural divides, identity, and trust in institutions. France still produces some of the world's best scientists, artists, and engineers. Institutions like HEC Paris and École Polytechnique are global leaders. The state is investing in hydrogen, quantum computing, and biotech. It is also committed to digital literacy campaigns and vocational training to combat youth unemployment. France is at a turning point. It is not collapsing, but it is in flux. Whether it charts a new course through reform and renewal, or veers into reaction and retreat, will define not only France's future, but that of Europe itself. The Republic has reinvented itself before. The question is, can it do it again? If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.